Alright, this is going to be my contest entry for VenusEnvyGrrl's 100 subbies contest. And her contest theme is the best and the worst. I really don't have a lot of my worst pieces. I guess these are a couple that I have kept. Guess this one too. Didn't have him on the cardboard. Alright, just had to recount there. Okay. I guess we'll start with this one. This one I did in a paint palette, and it was this one and the fish are the first two pieces that I really ever did. This was like in one of just those mixing, like they're all circles and then there's a big circle in the middle. But I'd watched a video that said to use Pam as like a mold release, and it didn't say to wipe it out. So this one it's cloudy on the back because there was way too much Pam, like you can see it around the edges too, in the mold. And I didn't really know much about resin at the time, so I just threw everything in there. I threw some nonpareil sprinkles in there and then some chunky gold glitter, and it all just kind of sank to the bottom, and it's kind of a hot mess. And I even though I put the Pam in there, I had a heck of a time trying to get it out of the mold. I actually had to leave them sit and then put them in the freezer for quite a while, and then I just kind of knocked the palette on the edge of the freezer and they popped out. But I guess that's one of my worst ones. And then this one I did at the same time, and I did the same gold chunky glitter and it all sank to the bottom. And I didn't put enough dye. This one has a lot of Pam on it too. You can see the cloudiness on it. It's still greasy too. I can't get it out. But I used a red transparent dye, and I didn't put enough in to my liking, and it turned out pink. So I don't know, I didn't over pour it or anything, but to me, like, I guess the worst things to me is what I would never wear out or sell to anybody, because to me it's just not up to par. And then this bat, I actually did a remake of it, and I think it's one of my best pieces. But I just put the glitter on the back, thinking that it would be fine, but it's kind of a thicker piece, and I just don't think it looks good. I glazed it thinking that it might, you know, but like I was gonna make it a ring, and to me, like, if you would wear that and somebody would look at it, you know, like if you had it on your finger, they'd look through it and they're like, what, it's all cloudy, and then I don't know. I didn't want to put a ring back on it and waste one because I knew I wouldn't wear it, or I wouldn't feel comfortable selling it to somebody because it's not up to par for me, and like there's too much Pam in it. And I actually had more resin when I did these than I needed, and it's kind of a learning piece because I didn't put Pam in the other one. Yunk and Zem sent me like 1 and 2 of these. You know, she cut a little piece of her ice tray off for me, and the one had Pam in it and the one didn't. This one did, and it stayed in the piece, but I had extra resin, so I just poured it in there, not thinking that I hadn't put any release in there. And that one came out just fine, so I figured out that I didn't have to use Pam anymore in the silicone molds because it comes out just fine without it. But so that was a learning piece, and I think it's one of my worst pieces because you can see the Pam in it, which is kind of odd, and it just doesn't look good. But that's my worst, and I did a remake of it with this one, and I mixed the glitter in, and I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. But I mixed the glitter in instead of just putting it on the back, and I didn't glaze it because I think it looked better matte. It didn't get, you know, it sunk, and it still has a little bit of that clear edge on it, but nobody sees the bottom like directly, so. But I think he turned out really well compared to the other one. So I think that's one of my best pieces. Well, best redo learning type pieces anyway. So, and then let's do this one. I did this in one of those Wilton cupcake molds, like the single hearts. And I think this one's one of my best because it's the first one that I've ever really done that I really tried hard to layer it. Even though I only poured resin once on the piece, I tried to layer it at different like tackiness levels, I guess you could say. And I would put a bail on this one, but I don't have any more right now. So this one I would consider a jewelry piece if I had a bail to put on it at this moment in time. I didn't want to drill in it because I like to do bails on the back of these. So I did, you know, this whole layer. I did all the resin, poured it, and then I put this cupcake and then these 3 like dots in there. And then I waited till it was kind of tacky and I put the sprinkles in and they sunk down a little bit. And then I waited till it was really tacky and I put the glitter on the back. And I kind of wanted it to be a transparent piece. And it is, so I guess that one's one of my favorites. I really like it. And I did glaze this one already, but I just don't have the bail to put on the back yet. This one either. I did this one at the same time as I did the cupcake one. I think it was the same pour, right around the same time. And this one I had the bone sprinkles in there, and then I mixed some red dye and red glitter together, and I poured it into the clear layer that I already had that wasn't too tacky yet. And I really like it because I wanted some of the glitter to sink instead of just having a background. And to boot, it dyed the bones on the one side and not the other. But the glitter did sink, and then I think it has like, I really can't tell on camera, but it has like a 3D effect, like these dark spots are where the glitter's not. So I put more red glitter on the back. And it has a really nice 3D effect to it. And it's really sparkly too. But I think that's one of my best pieces. More progressive, I guess, because I'm trying new things and getting more confident with it. And again, this one would have a bail on the back. It's sanded and everything already. I just don't have any bails right now. And this one was, I think it was the second or third time. I think it was the third time I did resin. I finally got some heart molds, and I think this one's one of my best because I tried to, first of all, I thought it was going to have air bubbles in it, but it didn't, and I was really happy when it didn't. But I mixed glitter to get the effect I wanted, so I mixed some black and some green, and I really liked that glitter mix. And I figured out that you can use a spoon just to get the glitter where you want it on the bottom, versus like covering up with paper and like risking getting it everywhere else. So I think that one's one of my best pieces, and I really like the stickers I put in there too. This one I made right before Christmas, and I wore it to my family Christmas, and I really like the 2 glitters that I picked. Getting better at picking glitter mixes, so as I pour, I'm getting better at that. The only flaw with this one is it's got a little air bubble right there, but that's okay. This one I did 2 layers, really, really thin layer for these guys. And then I did another layer, and I did the snowflake in the middle and the 2 hearts. And then I did the glitter on the back of that layer. So this was kind of like my first experiment with layering, kind of, without, you know, letting it dry, and then not dry completely, but letting it dry and then put more stuff in it. So that one I think is one of my best pieces. And this one's not necessarily the best, but it's the most sentimental to me, because this is the reason I got started in resin in the first place. I was just browsing Etsy one day, and I found like the resin sprinkle hearts that everybody has. And I was like, I want to get involved in that. And I did more research on it and figured out how you did it. And it's not one of the first pieces I did because I was so excited with the stickers and everything. I just did it recently, but it still means a lot to me because it's the thing that got me started, the idea that got me started in resin. So I would say that it's one of the most important pieces, maybe not the best, but the most important to me. So that one. And then this one's the most recent that I did. And I really like it. This one's the first one I've ever put a back on. So I guess that's more, I'm learning more, I guess, with pieces, because I had to get the layer with the sticker and the black glitter, and then I mixed in the green glitter and the leaves, and I had to let that dry, those two separately, and then I put the black back on it. And I had this idea for a really long time, I just didn't have the mold, so I finally decided to order the mold and do it, and I'm really happy I did, because I really like how it turned out. I really like that fluorescent black Martha Stewart glitter, but so I think that's one of my best pieces, just because it's more, I guess, more work, more layers, more time and patience than the other ones. But that is my contest entry, and I wish everyone that enters good luck. Bye.